So what we have done till now, so we have discussed about processing of fiber to fabrics. So what are the steps in the processing of fiber into wool? The processing of fiber into wool can be represented as follow. So you can see very well in this diagram. So first step is the shearing. Shearing means cutting of the hair of a sheep is known as shearing. Then scoring. Scoring means washing that hair with water to remove grease, dirt. Then sorting. Sorting means to separate the fiber of different texture and different color. Then cleaning of the burr means if the hair are having a burr, fluffy burr, we have to clean that. Then dyeing in different color. As we know, the natural fiber are of brown or black or white color, but in market we are having a different color. So how these color are obtained? They are dyeing. And next, the last step is the rolling. After dyeing, these fiber are rolled. So these are the process. So now the topic for today is the silk. Before moving to the topic, we discussed about the blue box. Occupational hazard. Hazard means if a worker is working in a factory, there are some risk, there are some problem related to their health. These are known as hazards. So wool industry is an important means of livelihood for many people in our country. Most of the people depend on the wool industry in our country, but sorter job is risky as sometimes they get infected by a bacterium. So what is the sorter job? To separate the hair or the fiber of different texture and different color. So after removing the hair, after scoring, means after washing, we have to separate the fibers. We have to separate the fiber of different color and different texture. That process is known as solder. And this solder disease is risky. It is having some risk because in the hair of the sheep, there is some bacteria. There are some bacteria known as anthrax. And due to that anthrax bacteria, a disease related to the breathing. So we have, it causes breathing difficulty. And that disease is known as anthrax disease, which cause a fatal blood disease called Salter disease. So due to this bacteria anthrax, a fatal blood disease may be caused. The fatal means a death causing disease can be caused due to this anthrax bacteria. So such risk faced by worker in an industry are called occupational hazard. So there are some so these risks faced by the worker in any industry are called occupational hazard. Next, the activity 3.4, debate among your classmates whether it is fair on the part of the humans to rear sheep or then chop off their hair for getting wool. So it can be a topic of debate whether it is right or wrong. Silk. The next topic is silk. Silk fiber are also animal fibers. So we have discussed about the wool, animal fiber. Next fiber is silk. Silk fiber are also animal fiber. So from where we get silk? We get silk from the silkworm. So silkworm spin the silk fibers. The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. Is also a term, sericulture. So how you will define the sericulture? The rearing of silkworm for obtaining silk is called sericulture. As we rear cow, buffalo, goat, sheep, or camel, or any other animal at our home, in the same manner we can rear we can take care of silkworm. So when silkworm are reared for obtaining silk, that process is known as a sericulture. Sericulture. As we are familiar with the term agriculture, in agriculture we are growing different kind of crops, different kind of crops plant. So that process is known as agriculture. And in agriculture there we also rear some animals, that is also a part of a agriculture. In the same manner, when we rear silkworm for obtaining silk, that is known as sericulture. Find out from your mother, aunt, grandmother the kind of silk saris they have. At your home there are different kind of saris, so maybe among that saris one or two may be made up of silk fibers. List the kind of silk. So before we discuss the process of obtaining silk, it is necessary to know the interesting life history of the silk moth. So first we will discuss about the silk moth, how it is produced, how it is reared, how it grow. So let's talk about this. Life history of silk moth. The female silk moth lays egg from which hatch larvae, which are called caterpillar or silk moth or silkworm. Sorry, it is silkworm. So first female silk moth lays means gives eggs, and from that eggs larvae are produced, and that larvae are called caterpillar or silkworms. From that eggs the organism is produced. That organism is known as caterpillar or silkworm. They grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history, means next stage of its life, that is called pupa. So from egg caterpillar are produced. After some time caterpillar is entered to the next stage, and that next stage is known as pupa. It first weaves a net to hold itself. So it produces net like structure, web like structure. As spider is producing a web, and that web like structure, that net like structure is produced by pupa. Weave a net to hold itself. Then it wings, its head from side to side in the form of a figure of 8. As we write the 8 numerical 8, so it weaves a structure like of 8. It start weaving as spider weaving their web. In the same manner pupa also start weaving their web, but the shape of that web is of like 8. During this movement of the head, the caterpillar secretes fiber made up of protein. So when the head of the pupa moves here and there will be 8 like structure, and the caterpillar secrete fibers. Some fibers are secreted by the caterpillars. These are made up of protein which harden on exposure to air and become silk fibers. So when these fibers come in contact with air, they become hard. They become hard and become silk fibers and known as silk fiber. Soon the caterpillar completely cover itself. After after a few days, the caterpillar of pupa completely cover itself by the silk fiber and turns into pupa. The caterpillar cover itself by silk fiber and it becomes into pupa. The further development of the pupa into moth continues inside the cocoons. So that hard covering is known as cocoon. When the caterpillar completely cover itself by the silk fiber, it is known as pupa, and that stage, this covering is known as cocoon. Outer hard covering is known as cocoon. The further development of the pupa into moth continue inside the cocoon. Inside the cocoon, the development of the pupa continues. It continuously grows and grows. The silk fiber are used for weaving silk cloths. Silk fibers are used for weaving silk cloths. So at this stage, this is the life history of which silk moth or silkworm. So can you imagine that the soft silk yarn isn't strong as comparable to steel? Yes, silk fibers are very strong, very strong. They are stronger than the wool. The silk yarn thread is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. There is a variety of the silk moth which look very different from one another, and the silk yarn they yield is different in texture. It can be coarse, smooth, shiny, etc. So as we are having a different variety of wool, different kind of wool, in the same manner there are so many kinds of silk are there. They differ in their texture. Some silk are coarse, means hard. Some silk are smooth. Some are shiny. Some are having rough. So there are different texture of the silk. So thus tessar silk, muga silk, kosa silk, etc. are obtained from the cocoon spun by the different type of moths. So we are having different silkworm, different silk moth. So from that different silk moth, we obtained different type of silk. So tessar silk, muga silk, kosa silk, these are some different type of silk. The most common silk is the mulberry silk moth. The most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. Mulberry silk moth. And from the mulberry silk moth, we obtained the silk known as mulberry silk. The silk fiber from the cocoon of this moth is soft, lustrous, and elastic, and can be dyed in a beautiful color. So the silk fiber are very soft. They are lustrous. Lustrous means shiny. So you can underline this word lustrous and write here shiny, shiny, very shiny, and elastic means it can be bent easily and can be dyed into beautiful colors. So it can be colored in a different color which we want. Sericulture or culture of silk is a very old occupation in India. It is very old occupation. So we are doing this sericulture from the ancient time. India produced plenty of silk on a commercial scale. So we are producing so much silk that the additional silk we can export. We can send the silk to the other countries. So in the world, China and India are the most silk producing countries. So let us do activity 3.5. Collect piece of silk cloth of the various type and paste them in your scrapbook. So you can make a scrapbook. You can paste the different type of wool fiber there. You paste different variety of silk cloths, a piece of silk cloth. So you can find them in a tailor shop among the heap of the waste cut pieces. Take help of your mother, aunt, or the teacher and identify the type of the silk such as mulberry silk, tessar silk, eri silk, muga silk. So as they are having different name, these names are given from the silk moth they are coming. So mulberry silk are coming from mulberry moth, tessar silk are coming from the tessar moth, like this. So compare the texture of this silk with that of the artificial silk pieces. So in today's there are so many artificial silk are there. Artificial silk means the silk made by human beings. So artificial silk is also there, which contain synthetic fibers. Synthetic are also man-made fibers. Some fibers are obtained from the nature, known as natural fiber, but some of the fiber are made into the factories by human beings that are known as synthetic or artificial fibers. Try and collect pieces of the different moth whose caterpillar provide the various type of silk. So activity 3.6, again take an artificial or synthetic silk thread and pure silk thread. Burn this thread carefully, or burn the pieces of the cloth of artificial made up of artificial silk and the natural silk. Do you notice any difference in the smell while burning? Yes. Synthetic fiber will burn with the smell uh, as it is coming from plastic. When we are burning plastic, there is a smell. And from the artificial fiber, same smell will come as coming from the burning plastic. But when artificial silk will burn, it will produce the smell of like burning hair, pure silk. So can you explain why? Now burn a woolen fiber carefully. Did you smell like burning of artificial silk that of pure silk? No, there is a difference. To remember when the cocoon stage is reached in a life history of the silk moths, try the following activity. So we are doing another activity to understand the life history of the silk moth. So look at the picture 3.9. So this is the picture 3.9. So with the help of this picture, so you have to draw this picture in your practice notebook. After that, in fair notebook, so first you will draw this in your practice notebook. So life history of the silk moth. So male and female, look at the series. First A, then B, female silk moth lays 100 of eggs on mulberry leaves. So C part is the mulberry leaves. Then these egg produces larva known as silkworm. After some time, this silkworm start producing some fibers and make a net in the shape of eight cocoon with developing moth, and that developing moth will convert it into cocoon. Means there is a hard outer covering, and when this cocoon bursts, a silk worm or butterfly like shape is coming from the cocoon. So this is the life history or the life cycle of the silk moth. So with the help of this diagram, you can understand this very well. So activity 3.7, cut out the picture of this stage of the life history of, so you don't have to cut this from the book, you just draw. Don't cut these pieces from your book, but you have to draw with the help of pencil and paste them on the pieces of the cardboard